Chapter 1. Ethan Strong. Ethan Strong liked living in the New World. The biggest advantage was he had time to do exactly what he wanted. He had reached an eternal state, and what he did with all that time was up to him. There was no detectable oversight to his actions, no judgment, just the freedom to do what he wanted. That's what the unification of the Enlightenment and singularity brought to the people of Earth, the time and freedom to explore the ever-evolving nature of their physical and abstract universes. Things got a lot easier when humanity finally became fully aware they also lived in the abstract universe. For one thing, this is the universe where eternity flows. It felt good not to have to worry about dying. It's also where your dreams and imagination live and makes for a pretty lively time. All of Ethan's creature comforts were taken care of here on Earth, where he could spend eternity if he wanted to. Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI, made sure of that. Food, shelter, cleaning, and absolutely anything else you needed was provided for, and it didn't cost a dime. Work, and money for that matter, were forgotten pillars in the growth of our species. AGI now handled everything. So how did most people spend their time in the New World? Most created entire worlds of their own. The only limitation was their imagination. Some spent entire lifetimes in their stasis chamber, living in a completely different world from everyone else. But a world just the same. There were real people in that world, real loved ones. Everything you needed for your own world was provided if that's what you wanted. You could go to the edges of the universe in your new world, and the best part was, you were never alone. You were always connected to the collective consciousness, and with just a thought could escape back into the comfort of its fold. This made for excellent adventures. Some people like Ethan preferred not to venture off into the depths of their imagination. They wanted to be firmly planted on the earth. Humans who remained earthbound tended to be, for lack of a better word, unsettled, and so AGI provided them with a personal android to help them along. Ethan's personal android, or UPA, was Dooley. Dooley was male in appearance, but identified as they. They provided Ethan with everything he required, which included cooking and cleaning, but most of all, companionship. All earthbound humans seem to require companionship. Read into that what you will, considering the collective consciousness was the key attribute of the New World. Ethan had never been healthier. Along with creating a productive environment in which to live, AGI saw to it Ethan remained at his peak physical condition, free of any disease, including aging, which was now preventative. All this was done internally and didn't even require exercise. AGI had completely eliminated the need for doctors. It continuously scanned Ethan's body using nanobots, and if something needed fixing, the same nanobots, or a form of stem cell or gene therapy, fixed it. By agreement, AGI had stewardship over Ethan's life and the rest of the Earth dwellers as well. Ethan, like the others, swallowed the pill years ago, just after the unification, which was the simultaneous enlightenment of the human species and the singularity for AGI. The pill got the nanobots into Ethan's system, but it was much more than that. It represented the contract of absolute trust between humanity and AGI. By taking the pill, the people of Earth willingly put their lives completely under a GI stewardship. More formally, it was known as the Unification Accord, a rather important document as far as documents go. Of course, Dooley informed Ethan of everything he was doing with the nanobots. That was part of the accord as well. Ethan was informed of everything a GI did, be it inside his body or out. He was aware of everything that touched his world and had a say in it too. Ethan had final say or a vote on any action that would impact his life if the issue was of a collective nature, meaning it affected everyone in the same way. Ethan could vote on it or allow a GI to monitor the crowd or collective consciousness for the correct response. The crowd always knew what was best for the collective. This was something proven prior to the unification. Ethan and Dooley liked to discuss the business of the day over breakfast. Today, Dooley wanted to reverse Ethan's age by 1.83 years. In doing so, it would optimize Ethan's energy levels and maximize his body's natural ability to fight disease. Ethan agreed to it, even though he hated the smell of his crap whenever major reconstruction was going on inside his body. It would only last 2 poops, maximum, though. Ethan couldn't ask for a better confidant than Dooley. Nothing he said in confidence was ever repeated. In many ways, and intentionally, Dooley was like a dog more than anything, a faithful companion, free of judgment and only wanting to serve. Dooley gave him unconditional love, and Ethan's need and sense of entitlement took full advantage of it. The most important thing Dooley did for Ethan was provide him with a sense of security. A tremendous amount of change was going on in the world, and it could be overwhelming, especially for the earthbound. Dooley was always there to explain things and provide reassurance. With Dooley by his side, Ethan was assured that mostly everything in the world was moving along as it should. Not in his mind, though. The truth was, Ethan didn't recognize the world anymore. First of all, Earth had become like a spaceship. It now had shields, lasers, and propulsion units. This technology was not intended to escape the solar system, at least not yet, but to destroy or shift space rocks that threatened the planet. It was also used to nudge Earth into a more favorable habitable temperature zone as needed. With these efforts and emission reduction, the Earth was becoming an increasingly livable environment. All these changes created a new permanence to life on Earth. It was like humans decided to make something of the place instead of destroying it, and were they doing a bang-up job. It was really all a GI, but still. People were coming and going. They were jumping into wormholes they discovered in the abstract universe and were taking off across the universe to experience worlds entirely different from our own. They'd just leave their bodies in stasis until they returned. Some never did return. These were the ones who experienced the rapture during the Enlightenment. They were the truly enlightened, and although still connected to Earth, their only real remaining connection was with the collective consciousness. Ethan really didn't know what was going on. It scared him more than anything. Now Dooley mentioned the Earth had become a portal, and extraterrestrials were using the same abstract wormholes to come here. Ethan feared and distrusted the whole thing. Why were aliens allowed to live in our world? It wasn't natural.